In a world where magical abilities determine social status, Mash is an unusual case. He lives with his father, Regro, in a secluded forest. One day, Regro heads out and warns him to not venture into the city, but Mash takes out a pamphlet of cream puffs and runs towards the city, apologizing but remarking that he can't ignore the call of an empty stomach. He enters the city without permission and draws attention because of not having a magical mark on his face before getting targeted by a man named Brad and cornered, so Regro hurriedly takes him back to their cabin and sends Mash to repeat his daily training routine as punishment and gives him his cream puffs. As Mash leaves, Brad barges into the cabin and threateningly says ridding themselves of inferior people who can't use magic is essential, as a flashback shows Regro's own feelings of sadness that were changed when he found baby Mash, who gave him a newfound purpose. In present day, Mash arrives and punches away one of Brad's subordinates before slapping the other one and easily throwing away Brad's spells before throwing Regro's wand as a knife at Brad's face. Stunned, he proposes a deal in which Mash will become the divine visionary of Easton Magic Academy, after which people will accept him and Brad will receive the fortune for it, which is the only thing he can do, or else he'll get hunted down sooner or later, which Mash agrees to. Easton Magic Academy is well known for its tough entrance exam that only accepts the top 3% with exceptional magical abilities. Claude Lucci, who oversees the candidates, is confused when he sees Mash lifting weights before the magical exam. In the entrance examination, during the first task of stopping words from moving on his paper, he menacingly tells them to stop by breaking his quill, which actually works and makes a boulder float by lodging his finger into it before running on the surface of water. Claude introduces a maze filled with traps as the next challenge, where a girl named Lemon Irvine tries to hinder Mash by getting into trouble, but Mash keeps saving her by defeating the challenges, and despite Claude's determination to fail him and Lemon, he literally breaks through maze walls to reach the finish line on time, but Claude says he'll fail them anyway, so Mash breaks his wand before Headmaster Wahlberg takes over and teleports Mash for a final interview, where Mash keeps answering honestly and passes. As classes begin, Mash's methods keep clashing with traditional magical instruction, and his roommate, Finn, is surprised by him before Mash asks how he can become the divine visionary, and after hearing how much it'll take, remarks that it'll be more brutal than expected, but says Finn is a great guy. Mash, mistaking a burdock for a broom, asks Finn to lend him one for class. During the lesson, the teacher instructs students to make their brooms fly by channeling magic before Mash, initially struggling, gets his broom to summon to his hands by slamming his foot down. A student challenges Mash to a race, with the loser obeying the winner, in which Mash easily defeats him and creates a new record, seeing which a student named Cabell takes interest in Mash and exploits him by making him work like a servant to become the divine visionary. Later, he sees Finn getting bullied and slams Cavill into the ground, seeing which the vice principal tries bullying him, but Mash buries him into the ground before getting summoned by the headmaster, Wahlberg, who says he hopes Mash will one day become the divine visionary, and explain that there are 3 types of coins: gold, silver, and bronze, which Mash understands and leaves, as Wahlberg inwardly remarks that he'll run into a problem soon, but hopes that he can face it. Later at school, a man named Tom Knowles invites Mash to represent Adler Dorm in a Duello match, the Magic Realm's top sport, and the game begins, but since Mash is unable to ride a broom, he starts getting booed by the audience. Mash, unable to fly, stands on the ground during the Duello game. Tom, adamant that Mash promised to be the best, informs him about the game rules, where players try to control a ball midair and pass it through a ring for points. Annoyed, Mash, against the odds, makes his broom float by moving his legs really quickly and scores 999 straight points, securing a victory for Adler Dorm. After the game, Tom expresses joy at Mash's unexpected skills and labels him a strong bamboo. The following day, Tom urges Mash to join Duello practice, and Lemon joins them to study. Uninterested, Mash seeks Finn's help, but Lancecrown, the top student from the entrance exam, intervenes and invites them to try a special magical tool, an ancient bottle, but traps Tom, Lemon, and Finn inside. He challenges Mash to a match, betting their silver coins, and uses Gravel magic in the forest, but Mash withstands the force and quickly gains speed by knocking off Lance's pendant. Mash opens it and sees a picture of a young girl, realizing that Lance is a lolicon, but he denies this and says he has a sister complex.
What?
Before taking the pendant back and questioning what the most important thing in the world is for Mash. When asked the same question, he says it's his sister for him before threatening to drop the bottle, planning to attack Mash afterward, but Mash swiftly surprises him by using hamstring magic and a spell called Big Bang Dash to catch it, after which Mash reveals the fake bottle and suggests stopping the fight, which Lance agrees and hands over a silver coin before Mash releases his friends and starts getting pestered till he remarks that he regrets not doing so back at the academy. Easton Magic Academy consists of 3 dormitories: Adler, Orca, and Lang, each designed for specific qualities: courage and conviction, wisdom and willingness, and ability and ambition, respectively. Mash learns that 5 silver coins equal 1 gold coin and initially thinks that he needs 28 more silver coins, but Finn corrects him stating only 3 are necessary. Later, Lance introduces them to mandragoras, explaining their versatile use in potions if their screams are silenced, and shows them the proper way to do so. With Lance's guidance, Finn successfully calms the mandragora, but Mash's mandragora becomes uncontrollable, attacking him until he silences it with a slap. With the mandragoras silent, Lance demonstrates the process of cutting and cooking them, turning them into a compound. However, Mash unexpectedly cooks up cream puffs, frustrating Lance, who vows not to lose to him and challenges Mash to recreate the compound. Meanwhile, a boy named Dot boasts about being the main character, and someone named Abel instructs Lang students to seize coins from other dorms. The next day's outdoor exercise involves heading into the forest and exterminating scorpions for coin rewards, after which Silva Iron from Lang attacks Mash. But the teacher intervenes and Lance warns Mash about Silva's personally before they head into the forest together. During the exercise, Dot challenges Mash but gets silenced when Mash slaps him, after which Dot helps a girl, Lauren, defeat Silva, threatening and stalking her, who confronts Dot, so he retaliates with his move, Explom, but despite that, Dot slowly gets overwhelmed and Silva starts mocking him before a rock from his attack knocks down Mash's cream puff. Silva proposes a deal where Dot will endure 5 hits from his magic, and he'll leave Lauren alone, also betting 1 silver coin, which Dot agrees, but Silva insists that Mash join in too, so Dot says he'll take Mash's hits as well, after which Silva starts hitting Dot, who withstands 9 blows and prepares a final, stronger hit before Dot finally collapses and urges Mash to take Lauren and run, but Silva mocks Dot and hits him again before Lauren, revealed to be with him, calls Dot an idiot before Mash intervenes by throwing a cream puff into Silva's mouth, declaring they've gone far enough. He calls Silva a scumbag, prompting Silva to challenge Mash to the 10-hit contest, after which he attacks him repeatedly with Iron Fist, but Mash, breaking through Silva's iron magic, counterattacks. Silva falls, shocked, realizing he can't endure more hits, but Mash says he must endure 10 hits, to which Silva mocks Mash, claiming he won't win, so he uses Triceps magic Ballista Knuckle, surprising Silva before a scorpion with a star-shaped stone appears, tempting Silva with its value, but Mash throws it away and says they should stop out of pity for Silva before grabbing Lauren and slamming her down. Later, he meets up with Lance and the others as Finn compliments him for defeating a Starstone Scorpion, which is worth 2 points, before Lance tells him that Langdorm, particularly Magiolupus, is targeting Adler for their coins and warns Mash to avoid Lang and stick with his dorm mates. The following day, Abel punishes Silva for failing to get the coin by turning him into a doll, before Mash enters and wonders if Abel realizes he's talking to a doll. Mash enters Magiolupus' base after Abel notices he possesses a gold coin and questions his desire to become a divine visionary. But despite understanding Abel's perspective, Mash clarifies his goal of seeking peace, so Abel offers to let Mash go in exchange for his gold coin, but Mash refuses, after which Abel attacks him using Silva's puppet, which Mash easily overpowers by cutting its cords, and Silva reverts to human form, so a larger puppet seizes Mash, snatching his coin and hurling it at Abel before releasing Mash. Later, Mash takes the injured Silva to the nurse's office as Abel reflects on Mash's unexpected resistance, but Mash, despite facing someone like Abel, remains determined not to lose. Abel notices that something's wrong when he discovers the puppet is missing a button and finds the button upon examining the coin, realizing that Mash used his mouth to detach the button and propelled it at the gold coin, while Silva wakes up in the nurse's office with no memory of events after becoming a doll. In Adler's room 302, Lemon arrives with news about Langdorm having 15 gold coins as Walbert assigns Mash to a week of cleaning the owl hut. Lance decides to join Mash in anticipation of a potential Lang attack as Magiolupus members Olor, Andrew, and Answer Shinri target Mash for his gold coin. Olor uses Sea Shark to transform into a shark, attacking Mash underwater, and Answer launches a large Shuriketh attack on Lance, who avoids using magic to protect the owls, and Mash overpowers Olor and defeats him, while Lance takes Olor's gold coin. Abyss Razor, another Magiolupus member, interrupts their celebration but claims he's only there for their allies and leaves as Lemon tells them that Langdorm is taking over other dorms' coins, hearing which Mash, Lance, and Dot decide to confront Lang and protect their dorm. Rhodes Emus, an adept of magma from Orca dorm, confronts Abyss. Despite Abyss noting Rhodes' unusually aggressive nature for an Orca, he effortlessly defeats him and takes Rhodes' gold coin as Lance hurriedly stresses Magiolupus' strong members and the need to take action. However, the dorm locations are undisclosed to encourage inter-dorm rivalry. Unfazed by Lance's briefing, Mash seemingly ignores it while making cream puffs before Lemon interrupts with concerns about Tom, leading them to the infirmary where Tom feels drained, recalling a dream of being trapped in a dark box, after which he discovers his magical energy depleted, a condition shared by other students, so Lemon gives Mash a protective charm named Creamy. During the night, Mash and Lance explore the school grounds with Dot and Finn, seeking to uncover Lang's dorm location. Spotting Lemon behaving oddly, they track her to a concealed door and discover an ancient arena where someone named Shun Getsuku from Lang appears, challenging them on behalf of Third Fang. To proceed, they must bet coins and engage in a duel, after which Dot, driven by his hate for handsome guys like Shun, volunteers to fight. Meanwhile, Wahlberg is summoned to the Bureau of Magic, learning of 6 notorious death row inmates' escape, assisted by Innocent Zero as Dot faces Shun and uses his explosive magic Explode Bomb before outsmarting Innocent Zero by activating the bombs strategically and winning. However, a mysterious force separates the group into different rooms as Lance confronts Worth Metal, the Third Fang, while Dot and Finn find themselves against Love Cute and Milo Genius. The 5th and 4th Fangs and Mash faces off against Abyss, the 2nd Fang, who acknowledges Mash not having any magic and notes that they're similar. Lance swiftly attacks Worth with Graviole, but Worth escapes into the ground and appears with mud clones, so Lance counters his tactics with gravity magic. Despite Lance's attempt to attack the field, Worth outmaneuvers him with a surprise attack. Impressed, Worth invites Lance to Magia Lupus, but Lance rejects, calling him second-rate before using Graviole and forcing Worth to reveal himself by shooting debris into the walls before Worth, drinking a potion, summons a mud demon with advanced magic. Despite Lance's resistance, he dismantles the demon with Graviole's Seconth torture pole. Worth reflects on his upbringing and receives a book from Lance before leaving. Mash confronts Abyss, who reveals a device draining Lemon's magic, so Mash challenges him seriously, and despite Abyss using Accelerate's Sphere, Mash starts retaliating before Abyss unleashes Accelerate's Seconth force field. But Mash finally overpowers him and defeats Abyss, who reveals his tragic life, including the cursed evil eye and the discrimination he faced. Despite Abyss's disbelief in friendship, Mash leaves after suggesting they enjoy cream puffs next time. Milo leaves the situation to Love, who seeks validation from Finn and Dot regarding her cuteness, so Dot, committed to Lemon, apologizes, and Love, feeling rejected, retaliates with Tornagus, declaring her belief in women's entitlement to adoration or death, attacking Dot repeatedly for refusing her advances. She persistently asks Finn and Dot if they find her cute, striking Dot each time he repeats his commitment to Lemon, after which Dot retaliates with Explode by obscuring the area and attempting to disarm Love, who counters and insists his weakness warrants defeat before showing Milo's petrification spell, set to afflict Mash, and encases Dot in Tornagus' cage. In the tornado, Dot reflects on his past, recalling his sister's teachings before dispelling Love's magic, surprising her with his enhanced power. He confronts Love, revealing the Ira Cruz mark and tapping into heightened magical strength. Overwhelmed by his newfound resilience, she feels gratitude as Dot spares her and urges her to leave. A monstrous stone head targets Finn, so Dot sacrifices himself by intercepting the attack and preventing the petrification spell before Milo appears, scolding Love for her failure as Dot recognizes his choice to confront them rather than use his petrification spell. As Milo is about to attack, Rain intervenes, displaying his magical power before Finn reveals that Rain is his brother as he investigates potential pawns of Innocent Zero and senses an unusual aura from Mash, subjects him to magical tests in which Mash shocks Rain by neutralizing his spells as Rain discovers Mash's uniqueness and offers him a healing kerchief. Acknowledging Mash's pursuit of Abel, Rain advises him to become a divine visionary, emphasizing the need to prove strength surpassing magic, after which Mash reaches Abel's door, wondering whether he should push or pull before knocking the door down and saying this is what happened when he tried knocking. Abel, surprised by Mash's capabilities, expresses his belief in inequality and plans to eliminate non-magical students as Mash recalls his past with Regro and rejects Abel's plans. As the two engage in combat, Love initially with Abel hides upon seeing the confrontation as Mash confronts Abel's puppets, destroying them efficiently, before Abel uses puppet magic on Mash, making him inflict harm upon himself and by turning Finn into a puppet, intending to entertain himself, but Mash unexpectedly breaks free from the puppet state, shocking Abel, who activates Marianus Seconth, unleashing Harm Puppet to transform everything in a 100-meter radius into puppets, but Mash dismantles the spell's effect. Mash counters the attack by tearing the controlling strings and executing a powerful move, Hellfall, smashing Abel into the ground. In defeat, Abel thinks back on his mother's kindness and tragic death, expressing a belief that those at society's bottom deserve their place, but Mash disagrees, saying character determines one's personality rather than their social status, after which Lemon, Finn, and Dot celebrate, and Lance, missing from the celebration, encounters Rain, who identifies him as an Innocent Zero member and attempts to subdue him but faces resistance, as another Innocent Zero member, Jean-Pierre, confronts him, seeing which he says this is bad since his power is on the level of a divine visionary, so they won't stand a chance against him. As Mash defeats Abel, Regro and Brad express concern over his well-being during a tea session, and Brad worries about potential consequences if Mash doesn't want to become a divine visionary, while the celebratory group consisting of Mash, Lemon, Dot, and Finn is interrupted when Innocent Zero's operative Cell War arrives. He pushes Lemon, Finn, and Dot aside, confronting the weakened Abel. Using magic, Cell forces Abel to choke himself, but Mash's return from the bathroom interrupts the tense moment when he brings back orange juice and cream puffs for them to share before a fly makes him sneeze as the cream puffs fly away and hit Cell. Mash asks him to give them back, but Cell dismissively throws them away before sensing a resonance and questioning if Mash is the one before Abyss suddenly sacrifices himself, taking a blow meant for Abel as Cell realizes that Mash's throne rock altered his spell's trajectory, to which Cell retaliates with Carbon Rain, launching sharp spikes, but Mash defends against the attack as Abyss recalls Abel's kindness and his lonely past, appreciating Abel's need for him. Cell intensifies the attack with Carbo Heavy Rain, testing Mash's limits, so Abel, with a doll, shields Mash, embracing the weak's right to resist the strong, but Mash unexpectedly emerges from the broken doll, landing a powerful punch on Cell, who, impressed, reveals a carbon epidermis layer and teases Mash to attack, holding the feared Spellflexion mirror. Dot warns Mash not to fight, but Mash kicks and shatters the mirror without using magic, after which Cell introduces himself as Cell War, leaving with vague intentions. Mash, cheered by friends for not using magic, secretly trembles, inwardly remarking that he can use magic, which a student overhears, threatening to expose him, to which Mash calmly accepts his secret's exposure and eats a cream puff. Meanwhile, Cell returns to Innocent Zero, reporting that they have found what was lost and being told to go retrieve it.